YouTube.com. Studio. AirDrop. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good? What is good? We're going to get started right around 3 o'clock. Damn it. That's not what I wanted to do. Still setting something up here because I still don't know how to get a damn thumbnail on a live video without going live first, because I suck at things like this. Yo, Charles, you're on the beach right now, streaming on the beach, my guy. You got that supremium signal. You got that supremium signal on the beach. 5 bars on the beach. All right, let me see if I can get my thumbnail on this thing. Philly, how you doing? Beautiful day to go hoop, you said, Abe. You're going to hoop instead of watching this Eagles game, aren't you? Upload thumbnail. Why don't you work? Man. Technology is not my friend. Live. And, of course, it doesn't show up there. Cool. I want a damn thumbnail on the video. There we go. Let's do it. Don't tell me it's too big. That's what she said. File is too big. God. All right. I'm almost ready, my friends. Thank you for being in here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Sorry, I'm not reading the comments yet. I'm trying to do computers. AirPlay to iPad. Yes. Save. $2:53 p.m. For added security, we will return to 2-step verification. Man, get out of here. All right. Still didn't put my thumbnail up, man. God, you piece of shit, dude. Whatever. Genius, you have never been told that. Don't lie to the people. Don't lie to the people. All right. Who's in here, man? Alex, thanks for being in here. I have my Sam Adams and a bunch of wings. I am prepared. Good job, my guy. That's necessities. You're going to need lots of Sam Adams, especially if you expect this to be a good game. Seth, how's it going? Ethan, what's up, man? Santa Claus just drove by my development. Did you throw a snowball at him in true Philadelphia fashion? If you didn't, you're not real. You got to throw snowballs at Santa Claus. DJ, make a TikTok, please. I don't know how to do TikTok. What would be the benefits, would you say, of making a TikTok? I feel like TikTok is a bunch of 12-year-olds. No offense if you're on TikTok. I just don't think there's a lot of, grown-ups over there. We hit 7K, baby. This channel is growing day by day. Big Play Slay. Oh, you're back to being Big Play Slay today? Is Slay going to show up today? Yeah, we hit 7K subscribers, man. Thank you all. Thank you all for being a part of this. We are at 7,000 subscribers, on our way to 7,000 more. Tank for Jamar Chase. I'm thinking tank for Micah Parsons, man. But, either one I'm fine with, but you're going to have to fire Howie Roseman before any of that. Before any of that, you're going to have to fire Howie Roseman. All right, let me find my guy E-Rock here. Try to get him in the stream. Not you. All right. Tank for Jamar Chase. All right. Where are we going here? Abe, what's up? Hey, Biz, how you doing? Tank for Jalen Waddle. Put Ben Simmons on the Eagles. Ben Simmons would be a vicious wide receiver. A 6'10" wide receiver with speed, agility, awareness. I would put Ben Simmons on the Philadelphia Eagles. I really would. Oh my goodness. What are we gonna do today? All right, so Saints versus Eagles, guys, man. How can we be positive? Give me something. I need a pick me up. I need something. I need something to help me be a little bit positive and realistic at the same time. I need help. I need a reason to watch this game. I mean, obviously, the reason to watch it is to see what Jalen Hurts does against this defense. But good Lord. With the 25th worst offensive line in football going against the best number one ranked defense currently in football, what should we expect? Like, is it going to be a bloodbath? I mean, is it going to be like 38-6? Like I said. Ju Akin, hi. How are you? Or is it going to be surprisingly close? Doug has no choice but to change at this point. I guess that's positive. Hey, man, listen. Doug is not going to change. We've been saying this for weeks. He had no choice. He had no choice but to change the last couple of games, And everybody freaked out that he said, we're going to run the ball more. We're going to give Jalen Hurts some more quick play opportunities. And he didn't do it. Here is the mighty E-Rock is in the house. What is up, my friend?
Yo. Ready for this? What?
No, I'm not ready at all. I'm trying to get myself ready to watch a murder, to watch a beatdown. I'm trying to get these people in the chat to give me some kind of positivity.
Well, the done a job of kind of a bit of a distraction. This upcoming game with Jalen Hurts starting. And while we're all kind of excited to see what Jalen Hurts can do and see how he does in the offense and see if this spark that Peterson keeps saying that it's going to ignite. it's I kind of tweeted this that Jalen Hurts starting at quarterback is kind of like looking at a sunset out the window of a plane as crashing and plummeting toward Earth, and the inevitable rock bottom that we hit. So, let me ask you, what are you looking to see from Jalen Hurts starting?
Oh, man. I'm looking to see him get out of the pocket more than Carson Wentz seems to be able to or not able to. Because that's the only way to survive behind this offensive line is to get the fuck out of there like as fast as possible. So that's really the only thing that I can see that could be some kind of spark is not getting sacked 10 times standing in the pocket.
Yeah, everyone's focused on Jalen Hurts thing, and I'm really kind of focused on Doug Peters. Like my focus has changed whatsoever. Because I'm looking at what are we really going to tell of Jalen Hurts in this game? Are we able? Is it fair to say this kid can play or not? Making his first start again behind a backup banged up line against number one defense in the NFL. Is it? Are we gonna? What are we gonna learn? Jalen Hurts. I'm still kind of focused on Doug, and all my attention has been on Doug. Is he able? Is he going to be able to formulate a game plan that fits the strengths of this particular quarterback? Is he going to remember to run the ball? Going to run it six times in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden it had to do it.
Yeah.
And also too, because he's going to switch up the language of the offense because we're all kidding ourselves. We don't think the biggest player on the field for both teams.
The people in the chat are saying they can't hear you. Do you happen to have headphones with you? Like just
you know what?
iPhone headphones.
Is it all right if I hop out and hop back in and grab headphones?
Yeah, absolutely. Headphones with a mic on the side, anything like that would work.
You got.
All right, man. Technology. Yeah, you got to use headphones when you live stream because the volume will come out of the speakers and back into the phone, and it's hard to hear. So I'm excited to hear E-Rock's insight. We got another caller right here. Drew, what's up?
What's that, pal?
How's it going?
It's good.
What do you think the Eagles are going to do today against the Saints?
I think they're going to do a good job. As long as the offensive line can protect Hurts, he can throw the ball better.
You think they're going to do a good job?
Yeah.
I like the positivity. I like your faith. But I just don't see how that's going to happen, to be honest with you, man. This offensive line. I mean, hey, as Jason Peters isn't playing, maybe that's something good that's going to happen with us.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think the score is going to be 17.
All right, and what do you think? What do you think Jalen Hurts is going to do? You think he's going to have a good game? Give me like a stat line prediction for Jalen Hurts.
I think we're going to run the ball more, and then I'm scared because they have our safety, Malcolm Jenkins. And I think he's going to hurt him.
Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins might be out for revenge. He might be out for revenge. You might be right.
Yeah. I didn't want him to get treated.
No, I don't think anybody did.
No.
All right, Jude. Thanks for the call. Enjoy the game.
Right. See you.
Later. All right, we got E-Rock back in here with some headphones on. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Perfect.
All right. Good. Outstanding.
Yes, the link is still up. Infamous, the link is still up. Anybody can join the conversation. All right, so what is your prediction for Jalen Hurts against this defense?
Listen, all Jalen Hurts has to do is everyone else hearing that echo?
I don't hear an echo myself. Somebody else might be hearing an echo.
Okay.
Anybody in the chat hearing an echo?
Got a look StreamYard. You never know what you're going to get.
That might have been the volume. That might have been the volume on my laptop coming out. Now is there an echo?
There, a little bit. That's okay. That's all right. We'll just work through it. As long as everyone else can hear, that's all that matters. All Jalen Hurts has to do is play smart football. Not turn the ball over, protect the ball, have some sort of pocket presence that seems to be eluding Carson Wentz this entire season. No check downs, no hero ball. Basically, do everything that Carson Wentz do everything to reverse Carson Wentz. Don't force it. Don't push it. Have that pocket presence. No bad mistakes. Protect the football. And a lot of that has again, as I was referring to before, I had to hop off and get headphones. A lot of that falls on Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's got to put this kid against number one defense in the NFL in his first start in an advantageous position, quick throws, get the ball out of his hand, and just smart football.
Yeah. Do you think Doug's going to do that? Do you think there's going to be more of a quick pass type of offense, 2-step drop slants and stuff like that?
I mean, he has to. He has to switch the game plan. And everything that we've been shouting every pre-game, rolling Carson out, quicker throws, run the ball. I mean, he has to adapt the game to Jalen Hurts better than he does with Doug Peterson. Because I'll tell you something, if he takes this offense and adapts the game plan to that quarterback, you automatically have to assume that he does that for Carson. And again, I'm using this game to kind of see what the woes are more pinned on. Are they more pinned on Doug and Doug's inability to make in-game adjustments and game plan appropriately? Or is it Carson Wentz and just his level of play of quarterback? Lack of confidence in himself. Too much confidence in himself, too much hero ball. We're going to find out a lot about this whole Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson dynamic through just watching Jalen Hurts play and how Doug uses him.
Plug headphones into your laptop. StreamYard doesn't let you turn the volume all the way down when live. Yeah, see. I plug headphones into the laptop and I don't hear shit.
You can't hear me?
All right, fuck it. We're just going to rock with it. Dude. All right, so the Eagles have to stop this rushing attack from the Saints, right?
Yeah. They have the front four to do it, but if they get to the second level, it's going to be a problem. I have zero faith, even though Singleton's played well. I have zero faith in these linebackers. Besides McLeod, I don't like the tackle ability of these defensive backs. So, and the other thing you got to consider is that Taysom Hill is starting at quarterback for the Saints. No Drew Brees. So that's a multi-purpose weapon. And if you take a look at some of the previous games against mobile quarterbacks, mainly and surprisingly, Daniel Jones, who tore up the Eagles on misdirection plays and rollouts and designed runs. You can't let Taysom Hill be doing that to you. He'll just eat you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to expect for this game. I don't know why I'm nervous. It's just, I guess it's how we are, dude. I don't expect much, but I'm still nervous for some reason.
It's an Eagles game. We all get like this, no matter what situation. We all get a little bit of the butterflies. We all, watching these games is kind of like going to the dentist, man. Nobody comes back from the dentist saying they had a good time. It's just like varying degrees of pain. Like how bad is it going to hurt? Are we getting a root canal today? Are we getting some guy just scraping our gums with a metal hook? Either way, we're going to bleed. Our souls are going to bleed today.
Yes, they are. They're still saying there's an echo. I don't know if are you using a microphone on those headphones, or are you just talking? I am using a microphone on the headset.
It has been challenging to hear myself on such a delay in my ear and try to talk coherently. It's
God. I suck at having guests on this stupid thing.
It might be. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Last time I was on, I thought it was the laptop speakers coming through. It's not me.
Yeah. No, I have my headphones plugged into my audio board. I hear you perfectly clear. I hear myself perfectly clear. But I guess there's an echo on the stream.
Did you take the headphones out and plug them directly into the laptop itself and just forget the audio board?
Yeah, see, when I plug the headphones into the laptop, I hear nothing.
Is your audio board hooked into the
wait. I can fix. I know why I hear nothing. Here, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it right now. I know why I hear nothing. We got to go to mic. We got to go to audio. We got to change the speaker to built-in.
How many DJs does it take to figure this thing out?
All right, now I hear you. Now I hear you in my headphones.
And now I hear me with no echo.
And you can hear me.
And I can hear you. Oh,
and everybody can hear both of us.
Oh shit! Now we're rocking and rolling. Okay.
The only thing is I can't hear myself in my headphones now, but who cares? I don't care about that. All right, we're here, loud and clear, no echo. What is it? 3 o'clock? Did we do it? Did we make it?
3:11 only took 11 minutes. I was saying, how many DJs does it take to set up the audio right on a podcast?
I just don't understand why. I mean, this is supposed to be the best live streaming audio board money can buy. And there's literally a USB slider, and the USB port goes from the laptop to the board, and you just put the slider up. I'm supposed to hear clear audio and everything, and I can never get it to work right. I don't know.
Isn't that funny? It's almost like it's almost useless. You're better off doing it by yourself. It's almost like Darius Slay. Darius Slay was the best cornerback money could buy, and then so far he's been being torched by DK Metcalf and. You know
exactly. I think I'm actually better at live streaming when I just hit my phone and go live and don't try to do anything fancy. As soon as I try to do fancy stuff, everything goes wrong.
I hear you. That's where I'm coming from on this thing, man. The iPhone. Just hit the iPhone, go live, and there it goes.
Yeah. Try to do too much.
Listen, dude. I stumbled across your show and your live stream this year. And as I DM'd you, I think on Instagram, listen, man, I think you got a great flow. You got a great show. You got great content. You got great points to make. I was impressed as hell and gave you a subscription, subscribed and, been checking in pregame every pregame.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah. You're doing good work. Doing good work here.
Thank you. I just, I've always been loud about my opinions, and I always used to listen to podcasts, and I was like, why don't I just give my opinions on YouTube and see if anybody likes it? And that's pretty much how it started.
That's all you do.
Yeah, a lot of people like it. A lot of people dislike the hell out of it.
That's all right. There's always going to be that,
and I welcome it,
no matter what you do. Yeah, you got to accept the good with the bad. It's par for the territory. So let me ask you. Give me 3 things. And you can take a minute to think about it. Give me 3 things that the Eagles have to do to shock the world and beat this 10-win Saints team.
All right. The first thing would have to be turnovers. There would have to be a lot of game-changing turnovers, right? Like I don't think they're going to stand a chance just straight up against the Saints unless there's some game-changing turnovers. Make Taysom Hill make mistakes. Make him throw some interceptions. Maybe Fletcher Cox or Brandon Graham or one of these guys gets a big strip sack back near the goal line, easy field position. It's going to have to be the defense, pretty much the defensive line, what I think is the only good part left of this team. The defensive line forcing some turnovers and setting up the offense with short field position. That would be number 1. Number 2, the wide receivers somehow have to find a way to get separation. That's what everybody's been saying, at least, that our wide receivers never get separation. I can't figure out for the life of me the past couple seasons if it's the coaching staff, if it's the play, the play style, the game plan, the whatever that's not getting them open, or do we just keep drafting wide receivers that can't get any separation? You know what I mean? Like people think we missed on Justin Jefferson, and I'm like, would Justin Jefferson look like trash in this offense, or would he look like he looks in Minnesota? You know what I mean? Like
that's an excellent point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a number 3. I just got 2.
Yeah, well, the turnover thing, I'll completely agree with you. It's not only, not causing turnovers yourself on offense, not coughing the ball up to the New Orleans Saints, who can certainly rack up points. They got too many talented pieces on offense not to run up the score on you. And it's not like this offense is built to be playing from behind. That's just not the way the Eagles are built right now. But it's not only, be protecting the ball and not being careless or reckless with the ball. It's also forcing some turnovers. Like this Philadelphia Eagles defense, as vanilla as Jim Schwartz has always been throughout his career, they've got to figure out something to dial up, something different, give them a different look, something to force turnovers. Jim Schwartz, his defense is, it's very vanilla. We all know this. He doesn't blitz a lot. The post-snap read is the same as the pre-snap read almost 90% of the time. If you're going to put he has so much film on him that it gives guys like Sean Payton, who, offensive, I don't want to say mastermind, but he's a guy who can get it done on offense. If you're going to put that kind of consistent tape on film for the guy, he's going to figure you out. So Jim Schwartz has got to do something on defense, to force turnovers, get the ball back in the offense's hands. The wide receivers, Doug did the thing where we've all kind of been calling for the Jalen Hurts thing, and he kind of did the obvious. Something needed to be changed. He did the obvious. Let's do something else obvious. Let's get Travis Fulgham back in the game.
Yeah.
Let's stop forcing the issue with Alshon Jeffrey. We know he's not coming back. We know he's slow as molasses out there. You don't have to try to justify the contract anymore, okay? We know it was a bum contract. We know you wasted money. So go ahead and put Fulgham in. He through the first 5 or 6 games, he was in the top 5 in receiving yards. You can't let a young player like that just fall off. And the next thing I'll say, my number 3 is, this has got to be the Miles Sanders game. Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard. You saw how effective Jordan Howard was running the ball against the Green Bay Packers. Don't just script it in the first 25. Don't just script it into the first 15. Script it through, make sure Deuce has got to be in Doug's ear, making sure that he's running the ball this entire time. Because again, this Eagles offense isn't built to come from behind. So you can't be having those quick 3 and outs, put your defense right back on the field and expect that shit to last all game. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not. Yeah. The Travis Fulgham thing, it blows my mind. It really does. Like I remember when they said Alshon was coming back, and we were all like, well, there's no way they're going to take this kid who just came out of nowhere and showed signs of life on this lifeless team. There's no way they're going to take him off the field. And they actually took him off the field for a guy who hasn't played in 2 seasons. It's crazy.
And you have to wonder, like, who's making that decision? Like, there was reports that, Howie Roseman was kind of telling Doug who to play on game day and who not to play on game day. And I didn't want to give any credence to that report because it just seemed ridiculous. Doug Peterson is the head coach, but the more you listen to his press conference when he's asked about Alshon Jeffrey, you hear those, it almost seems like Howie Roseman is like, listen, you have to put Alshon in because we gave him this money. You have to play him. Any idiot, including the 2 idiots on your screen right now, know that Alshon should not be in the game and that Travis Fulgham should still continue to shine and get his opportunities and still develop as a future wide receiver of the Philadelphia Eagles. Doug's got to start. So that's a whole nother dynamic, and it runs down to the decision about Jalen Hurts. You heard a report come out that Jeffrey Lurie said, listen, if Carson's struggling, pull him. That was 2 games ago. Is Doug being told by the front office and the second floor people, what to do on game day? That's something that I don't think is going to reveal itself to the end of the year, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I think that might happen a lot. And I remember talking to somebody about the Philadelphia 76ers last year because I couldn't figure out why this offense with Al Horford next to Embiid wasn't working forever, and they kept doing it game after game after game. And somebody told me that an inside source, basically, that one of the owners and somebody in the upper front office basically is like, you got to play the guys that we pay the most money. And even if it doesn't work. So it seems like the same thing for the Eagles. Like, we paid these guys so they're playing. Even if it makes no sense, even if it's, Jason Peters still being out there. Yeah, so I do think that comes from there. I think rich people get such an ego, and they do not. That not only do they not want to ever be wrong, they don't think they're ever wrong. They think they're smarter than everyone on the planet, and they think, well, just a bunch of dumb fans down in the city. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm the guy that owns the team. I'm the guy that made all this money my whole life. I'm the smart one, and they just they don't even connect with reality.
So it's the smartest guy in the room syndrome. Let me ask you this, because you're more of a Sixers guy than I am.
Yeah. I think he died. I think the connection died. Right when you said the word Sixers, you went away. The sports gods are not going to let us have that conversation. Hey, Birdman 951. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Hurts magic will be the key. Birds win, fly, Eagles fly. You honestly think that Jalen Hurts can win this game against the Saints? I admire it if you do think that. I'm not seeing how that's a possibility. I would love for you to tell me that in the comments. Tell me how. I want to know how. All right, let's bring someone else up on the stream. Rachel, is that how you say her name? Rachel, I'm sorry. Rachel, what am I saying? Rachel, how you doing?
Good.
What do you got for me, man? Ma'am, I'm sorry. What do you think? What do you think the Eagles' chances are in this game?
Well,
Ligma.
What's that?
Ligma.
Rachel, we got a bad echo on that, and I'm gonna need you to use some headphones with a microphone. Come back and talk to me. A-Rock, right when you said the word Sixers, they kicked us off. The sports gods are not gonna let us have that conversation.
Well, I do want to have that conversation because admittedly, you're a bigger Sixers guy than I am, right? I'm kind of Eagle centric. But listening to sports talk radio, you can't help but, kind of listen to what's going on with the Sixers, especially when it pertained to Brett Brown. So I wanted to ask you this question as kind of like, the Sixers guy. Does Doug Peterson and his situation kind of remind you of what Brett Brown was going through, and the fact that he was more friendly with the players than he was a disciplinarian? And when he talk to guys like Ben Simmons, like, listen, this is the expectation. You're going to shoot. This is what you want. This is what we want you to shoot. This is how many threes we want you to take during the game. And Ben didn't listen to a goddamn thing that he was saying. Is that kind of like, do you get the feeling like that's what Carson Wentz is not listening to Doug Peterson the way that Ben wasn't listening to Brett? And do you feel like Doug's not playing to the strengths of his players the way that Brett's, bully, but they weren't really set up for the offense that they were, or the playing style that they were used to? Or should have been doing?
Yeah, there's definitely similarities. And somebody sent me a meme of Doug Peterson with Brett Brown's face on the sideline, because there's definitely similarities. And it could be the similarities in that he's playing players that the guys above him are telling him to play, but also like his stubbornness with his offense, not willing to change anything, that just doing the same thing over and over that's not working. Just putting players on the floor that don't fit together, and the whole fan base is like, what the fuck are you doing? But he's not listening to anyone but himself. And that seems like what it is. And it seems like he was stubborn enough to run it all the way until he got fired. He wasn't going to change anything for anyone. And yeah, I think he has similarities with Doug Peterson too, where he's the friendly coach that's nice to everyone and doesn't have that in him to really grab someone by the face mask and scream in their face,
Yeah. Let me ask you this: if you were going to rank, because it's obviously the big three, right? It's Carson, it's Doug, it's Howie, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the big three. So, first question to you: rank them in the order of who's most to blame, because they're all to blame. Everybody's got a hand in this. Nobody's hands are clean. So rank them most to blame, least to blame, and then who would you get rid of at the end of the season?
I'm gonna put Howie as most to blame because as much as I see Doug Peterson being defiant and doing these things that aren't working and being stubborn about it, we've seen him win. We've seen him coach a Super Bowl team, whether it was because he had a good staff under him, an offensive coordinator that was creative, all of those things that he doesn't have now. Howie Roseman, I can't give like one positive to. Besides, he built that Super Bowl team, but once they won that Super Bowl, he held on to every single player. He didn't try to sell anyone high. He didn't try to, and he just overpaid everybody. Now we're in the situation we're in. So Howie Roseman, number one, for the lack of talent that's left on this team and missing draft picks, missing DK Metcalf, refusing to trade for, DeAndre Hopkins or sign a free agent, Robbie Anderson or anybody. And the money that he paid guys that are aging and injured is just like literally unacceptable as a general manager. So he's number one. I'm putting Doug Peterson number two because it's like all the things that Howie Roseman did that affected his job, he's like amplified it by trying to force the same thing over and over and over, and it's not working and it's just getting worse. And then Carson is the brunt of like all of those things with a bad offensive line, lack of talent around him, but also Carson Wentz to me, and I would like to hear your opinion on this too, but Carson Wentz to me this year does not look even close to the physical shape he was in 2017, 18, even the end of 2019. I don't see him getting out of the pocket as fast. I don't see him extending plays. I don't see him doing anything that we were used to Carson Wentz being able to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely agree with you in the order, which hurts. I mean, this no pun intended. This whole thing hurts because, and I tweeted this too. I remember Howie getting off the plane at the when they got back from Minnesota after winning the Super Bowl, holding up that trophy. I remember Doug Peterson, snatching that beer out of midair. Doug's the coolest guy ever. I remember how bright the future looked with Carson Wentz. So it hurts me that, all three of these guys have let me down, but I do believe it's Howie Roseman. And I was the biggest Howie stan too. I mean, I capes for the guy hard. But just the proof is in the pudding. I mean, just the bad draft after bad draft after bad draft after bad contract after bad contract. You can't expect a football team to thrive under those conditions. Doug Peterson, I just think, is a guy who he's second place. He's a guy who needs a strong supporting cast around him. And if he does not have a strong supporting cast around him, he's not the guy. He's not Bill Belichick. He's not Sean Payton. He's not the guy. He needs other pieces around him to kind of lift him up and allow him just to be that father figure, put some loving on the guys, as he says. And then Carson, God, to answer your question about the physical shape of Carson, I think that's natural after you get, post Clowney syndrome. Where you're hearing footsteps, and after you have that sort of knee injury and a broken back, like, let's not forget about all the injuries this guy's has gone through early on in his career. But I can't help but look at a guy like Big Ben, who, okay, you kind of got the same height, right? Maybe not the same weight, but the same height. And Big Ben is able to maneuver the pocket and finesse the pocket so well. He's not a guy that's going to run on you. You know what I mean? Yeah. He'll run, but it looks like, your uncle playing softball trying to, run out a pop-up fly. It's just, but his ability to climb the pocket and finesse the pocket, Big Ben's hard to bring down, not because he's so big. It's just because he knows how to move in that pocket. And that's something that you need to see Carson doing. I think Carson's biggest detriment and the biggest decline, because he has completely Benjamin Buttoned this thing. I mean, Carson Wentz is going backwards. Year after year after year, he's getting dumber. I mean, it's 2016 he looked good. 2017 he was a potential MVP, and then ever since then he's just gone backwards. I think it's more between the ears than anything else with Carson.
Yeah, you think it's more mental than physical? Definitely.
It has to be. It has to be. He went. I for Throwback Thursday, I'll take a peek at the matchup and see, okay, when's the last time the Eagles beat this team or beat this team at home, and I'll try to. And some of the Throwback Thursdays have been, Carson's first start against Cleveland, Carson against the Giants, and you look at him and he's scanning the field. He's looking left to right. He's reading a defense. And all of a sudden you just, as much as we want to place the blame on Howie and Doug, and certainly those are the top two, you look at a Baldy breakdown and he's just missing dudes wide open.
Yeah.
From the jump. Like, Carson, what are you doing, dude?
I said that there's a lot of people that I don't think have ever seen any of those Baldy breakdowns or any breakdown, or maybe haven't even watched the game, because the percentage that's now really minute of people that are like, stop blaming Carson Wentz. It's not his fault. He didn't do anything wrong. It's all the other stuff. I'm like, we can blame all three of these things. And I tell people, I'm like, go watch these breakdowns. You can see it in slow motion. The receiver's wide open right in front of his face, and he won't throw the ball.
And there's a lot of guys who have played professionally that are even Dan Orlovsky, who holds a black belt and Wentz standing. All right. He is the number one Wentz guy, being critical of his decision making and his play, being like, yo, Carson, you can't be doing this stuff. And it's basic fundamental coaching things. Like, it's not like, hey, this guy was never good at his job. But all of a sudden, you start to take a look at it. Carson Wentz is his fifth year. He should have mastery of the offense. He's regressing. A fifth-year quarter, I don't know if maybe Bleeding Green Nation, maybe Fourth and John put out an article. I can't name, can you, another time when a starting quarterback in year 5 has been benched, didn't start the next game, and this shit turned out good.
No. Made a comeback? No.
I can't think of a single one.
No, that's depressing really to think about that. I didn't even think about that. I think I just automatically assume like, oh, he's going to get it back. He's going to come back. It's going to be next year. Things are going to be better, but it might keep getting worse.
And that's what we want to believe. That's what, as fans, we want to believe that we want to believe in that Carson that we saw in 2016 and 2017. And I was one of the original Wentz wagon guys. I don't break down film or, draft scout people, but in the combine, I'm looking at this quarterback and I'm saying, he's got all the mechanics of an NFL quarterback. You got to go get his ass. That redheaded kid from North Dakota, you got to go. So it's disappointing for me to all of a sudden have to come to the realization, the harsh realization, facts that I can no longer ignore, that he's in his fifth year. First 2 years were great. The last 3 years were garbage. There's more evidence to point to Carson Wentz being an average to below average quarterback than it is to him being above average at this point in his career. That's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It is terrifying. And so then if he doesn't turn anything around, then you're in a shitstorm of a situation because you got this contract. And I mean, is it possible that they would try to trade him? And would there be a team that's like, we can fix him, or would other teams see what we're seeing where, like, I don't know, this guy looks broken, we don't want him and we don't want the contract?
I think Carson Wentz can thrive. I still think he can be a good quarterback, but maybe it's not necessarily here, and maybe there's somebody else out there that's willing to give you some sort of draft asset for that. As far as the money goes, everyone keeps saying, well, you can't eat the money. You can't eat the money. You can't eat the money. Absolutely. You're goddamn right. You can eat the money because this isn't a Super Bowl contender. Okay. This isn't a team that's the window is closed, bro. Like it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you eat the money next year. I'm sorry. Were you going to the fucking playoffs next year? Were you winning the Super Bowl? You want to eat that money as if Carson Wentz isn't your guy and they decide that, and somebody else is willing to give you assets to help you rebuild this thing, and you get rid of Howie, you get rid of Doug, or both of them, or whatever. Don't you in turn then eat the money and rebuild from scratch? You know what I mean? Like, you can eat the money next year. It's fine. It's okay. Because if you don't eat it this year, you're going to have to, you know what I mean? Just eat it. Just eat it. Admit the mistake. Let Carson Wentz thrive somewhere else. Hope he gets his shit together. I don't think Howie's a bad GM. I just think he needs something different. I don't think Doug's a bad coach. Just needs to change the scenery. I don't think Carson's a bad quarterback. He just needs different coaches,
Yeah, I think Howie had good intentions with the players that he kept around, and especially beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think he thought we are the new Patriots. We are the new dynasty. We're going to keep this group together and win 3 more Super Bowls in the next 6 years or something like that. And it just turned out the exact opposite of what he was intending to do.
The Eagles organization was the perfect reflection of the Eagles fans, right? Because we won our first Super Bowl and we didn't know how to act. Like, admittedly, I didn't know how to act. We were talking about new norm. What were we talking about? Dynasty. We're gonna bring it. We're gonna run it back.
We were on top of the world.
Oh shit! We're like, we won the first. Let's go with 3 more. Piece of cake, no problem. We got all the people to, and I feel like, hey, admittedly, we didn't know how to act. As Eagles fans, and I don't think the front office knew how to act either. I don't think the players knew how to act. I think they got lazy. I think they got complacent. I think they got, hungry dogs run faster. These dogs got fat and lazy.
Yep.
And they rewarded players based upon, sentimental feelings, and they didn't, and here we are.
Man. All right. Philly Take with RB says, watch Doug give Miles 25 carries today. He said this week we need to get the run game going. Do you think Doug Peterson's going to do that, or do you think that's just another him saying something to the media, and then when the game starts, when the coin flips, his brain turns off and he doesn't do anything he said he was going to do?
It's a fireable offense if he doesn't. Think about this. It's a fireable offense if he doesn't. You're gonna put Jalen Hurts in the situation against the number 1 ranked defense in a game where you have to control the ball. In a game where you have to wear them out, in a game where you have to keep that offense off the field. I mean, the football is a very complex, complicated game of 11 on 11. You have 11 men trying to move strategically to gain ground, right? But it's fucking simple when you think about it. Like, the concepts are all simple. So if Doug Peterson doesn't run the ball at least 25 times today, he's a fucking stunad and deserves to lose his job on the spot. It's simple. It's right. Simple.
I mean, I thought last week 59 pass plays and 9 run plays. I thought that was a fireable offense. So are we looking at another situation where Jeffrey Lurie is reluctant to make a change even if Doug Peterson does that today and we think it's a fireable offense? Are we looking at Jeffrey Lurie, taking a whole nother season to make that decision?
I don't think Jeffrey Lurie is going to make a whole nother season, but boy, I was surprised that Carson got benched, to be honest with you. I didn't see that change coming. One change that I still feel confident will not be made is firing anybody on the coaching staff, including Doug Peterson, in season, unless you're Chip Kelly and you skip out on the holiday party and piss Mr. Lurie off to the point where he's like, you know what, I was going to can this guy after the season, but I can't wait any longer, and you fire him with 1 game left in the season. Other than that, when is Jeffrey Lurie ever in his tenure as Philadelphia Eagles owner since 1995 fired a head coach in season? Granted, you had a long run with Andy, but it's not going to happen. When's the last time an assistant coach got fired in season? I think it was Juan. I don't quote me on this, but I think it was Juan Castillo, wasn't it? When he was defensive coordinator, and that was just because Andy was trying to save his job. He was trying to save his job by firing the guy who he thought it was a bright idea to take off the offensive line and put onto the defense. You don't see a lot of firings happen with this organization in season. Now, that's not to say you look around the rest of the NFL right now. Detroit got rid of their head coach. Houston got rid of their head coach. You know what I mean? So I could once again be surprised, but I do think they'll move on from Doug, and I think it's going to be a mutual thing. I think Doug's burnt out from being here, and I think we're burnt out of Doug, and I think Jeffrey's frustrated with Doug, and Howie's frustrated with Doug, and everybody doesn't like Doug right now. But I don't see it happening in season.
No. Yeah, I remember the Chip Kelly thing, and we thought that was going to drag out a lot longer than it did, and then that happened, and I literally thought, and I still think, they got in like a face-to-face screaming match, and Jeffrey Lurie was like, all right, bro, at the end of the day, I'm in charge here, and now you can leave.
From what I heard, because I was kind of closer, I did work for the Eagles for a couple years, and I was close to a lot of those people in there. From what I heard, it was more along the lines that Chip tried to right at the end of the year tried to pull another power play on Howie and basically like get him out of the building and skipped out on the holiday party. That was important. Chip was the type of guy to like see you in the hallway and not say what's up, not say hello, not even look you in the eye, just walk right past you. Like he was the most unfriendly douchebag that you could ever meet. Like, you know, get wired up to be on TV. Like some of the other coaches would be like, you know, have a conversation with you. Hey, how's your day going? He wouldn't even look at you, address you, nothing. Like Chip was just a dick. And I think, you know, that wore on his nerves, on Lori's nerves.
Yeah, he was. And he was always he had this, you know, he thought he was going to change the NFL with his up-tempo offense, but he selected players to be in those positions that couldn't play an up-tempo offense. None of it made any sense.
None of it. And listen, that's one of the things with Doug. You know, the 30% of his playbook, and this is coming from an assistant coach directly told to me, 30% of his playbook was the RPO in 2016. In 2017, it was 85% of the playbook because nobody knew how to fucking defend it. He was showing me tape, and he's like, look, like, remember that game against the Chargers where they just were running wild? Blunt was running wild.
Yeah.
Chargers guys, he would hand the ball off, and the middle linebackers, like, doing the Tampa 2 sort of draw. They didn't know how to defend it. You give any defensive coordinator, and these guys have been in the league for decades, enough time to figure you out. Give them a year of tape, and they'll figure you out. And that's part of the reason I think that Doug's decline is because the basic shit that he's running, the rest of the league figured it out.
Oh yeah, it's totally predictable.
Yeah,
it is. Lamar Ragan, thank you for the comment. Laurie will fire Doug and the whole team before he fires Howie. I want Howie gone. I don't want to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset, and nor would I be surprised at all if the Eagles take a page out of their neighbors across the street, the 76ers, right, and sort of take a page out of their playbook. And okay, we're going to get rid of the coach, because the coach system isn't playing to the strengths of the star players. We're going to back the star. We're going to give the star players another run at this. We're going to give Carson another run at this. And we're going to bring in, because Joe Douglas, everybody like praised Joe Douglas. If you look back at those drafts, you know, when Joe Douglas was making those picks, they were like, thank God that Joe Douglas is here and Howie Roseman's not making that. And then when the picks didn't turn out, it was right back to Howie's fault again. Yeah. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if they pull the 76ers, they fire the head coach, they bring in a guy whose offensive system fits more of Carson Wentz's skill set, keep Carson Wentz around next year, and then bring in a personnel guy. Didn't Elton Brand kind of move aside and they brought Morey in because he's more the wheeler and dealer in the pro personnel.
We don't even know what Elton Brand's job is. He's still listed as a general manager, but Morey is the president of operations, and Daryl Morey was the one every time they made a move before the draft or whatever, he was talking to ESPN. Nobody asked Elton Brand anything. It was like Morey was in charge, so nobody really knows what Elton Brand even does anymore.
Well, that's good. All I need Howie to do is just to do the contracts, bro. Just contracts. Yeah. Stick to what you're good at.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and listen, I know there's all those reports out, all those articles being written about how over the cap the Eagles are for next year as it stands right now. The Eagles are over the fucking cap every year. Every year they're over the cap. Every year. They don't have any play money. By the time, week 15, 16, 17, it's looking like the end of the season, they're like, fourth worst shape. I remember one time it was us and the Jaguars, 1 and 2. We were in bad shape. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later, you turn around and we're 10th best in best shape. So a lot of stuff, Chid. Don't read those articles and take it with a grain of salt. Know that a lot of that shit's going to change in the offseason.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
Excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Can't wait for this game.
What do you think do you think it's going to be? Do you think it has a chance of being closer? Do you think the Saints are absolutely going to, like I said, 38-6, and I was seriously because I see Jalen Hurts getting a welcome to the NFL by a defense that's ready to welcome him to the NFL by annihilating him. And I think he's going to make bad decisions when he gets hit in the pocket.
I could see this being another, Green Bay Packers sort of thing where the score looks closer than the game really was. Like, let's face it, the reason why, and that's why you can't judge Jalen Hurts on this game. You can't even judge him on last game coming in cold because, let's face it, Green Bay took their foot off the gas. That's not an accurate representation of how Jalen Hurts would play against the defense that. It's like, hey, we got Aaron Rodgers and we just ran up the score. Who gives a shit? Let's wrap this up. I'm kind of cold. You know what I mean? That's not an accurate representation. So I think the score at the end might be closer than the actual game is. But I'll circle back around to one of my original points. I think the most important player on the field for both teams is number 27, and he's not wearing green. He's wearing, black and gold. And that's Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins knows every amount he knows what makes this offense tick. He knows the defense. If you don't think he's in those offensive meeting rooms all week talking about how to attack Jim, it's like knowing thyself. You know what I mean? Like, your weaknesses as a person. Your trigger points. How somebody can pull one over on you, right? So I think Malcolm Jenkins, with that just intricate knowledge of both the offense and the defense, and plus playing at a high level on a number one defense in the NFL, and then playing a rookie quarterback, and this isn't going to be pretty, folks.
Yeah, exactly. All signs are pointing towards. It's not even. It's yeah.
But here's the good news: you're marching up that draft board. That draft board.
Yeah.
We just need the Jets to stop, blowing, late game, bombs against the Raiders, so maybe we can sneak up there.
All right, so if we do get top 5 in the draft, do you think Howie Roseman accepts the fact that linebackers exist and are valuable, and do you think he takes like Micah Parsons or do you think he drafts a linebacker that high? Because I don't fathom Howie Roseman taking a linebacker that high in the draft.
You don't fathom it, but I think it's, if they're in the position to do it, they will. That position for years has just been neglected in the worst way. No free agents worth mentioning. You let Hicks go. You let guys like LJ Ford, who's playing well for the Baltimore Ravens. You let guys that can play go. You dump absolutely nothing into it, whether it be free agency or the draft, and now you bear the fruits. And by the way, the guy that was playing probably the best linebacker out of the group, again, number 27, who was always the linebacker in the nickel. He's playing for the other team.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of different avenues that they can take the draft. You're in that position where you're that bad team, dude. You got a lot of different corner, linebacker. You're going to need a defensive end. How much longer can you be relying on Brandon Graham? You need Derek Burnett to play above, what he's been playing if he's going to take over that role. It's a lot of different options, and we're that team, dude. We're that team. I haven't looked at the scores. I haven't seen the scores. Last time I looked, Giants were getting their ass kicked, but the Dallas Cowboys. If Dallas Cowboys win and we lose, guess who's at the bottom of the heap, bro? We're that team.
Yeah. I think you could have added another first-round pick with Zach Ertz before his injury in the beginning of the season. The off-season. I said it. I tried to jump the gun. A lot of people didn't like that I said it, but as soon as I saw Dallas Goedert having some value, I said there's so many holes in this team. There's no point in having 2 tight ends and no whatever else you need. And so I was just like, with the value, if someone's offering you a first-round pick for Zach Ertz, you take it. At 29 years old, he was at the time. And they waited. Then he didn't play good at the beginning of the season. Then he got hurt. And now does he have – now we got – is there trade value, or do we roll with just –
No, you're rolling with Goddard. Goddard was drafted when Zach Ertz was the same age as when he was drafted that Brent Selleck was. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it was the same age gap between the two when Brent Selleck was a starting tight end, and they drafted Zach Ertz, and then Zach Ertz to Dallas Goedert. And you knew going into the season that afterwards you were not going to be able to pay both of them. Can't pay both of them. No. So they kind of lost their opportunity. I don't think they would have got a first, but a solid second. Oh, they would have gotten a second for Zach Ertz in a heartbeat. Not going to happen now. Not going to happen now.
What do you think about Jalen Reagor? Do you think he has do you think he has first round talent and he's just this offense is just so bad that he's not showing out? You think like if he was playing for, like I said, if you switched him and Justin Jefferson would look like trash in this offense and Jalen Reagor would be balling out in Minnesota?
I think you said that at the top, and I think you make an excellent point. Jalen Reagor, listen, the offense is struggling as a whole. Name me one player on this offense that's having a stellar year. Name me one offense player on this offense, not named Jason Kelsey, that's having an above average year. There's not a single one of them. They don't feed Miles Sanders. The offensive line is banged up. Carson's got, hearing footsteps and, seeing ghosts out there. Jalen Reagor it's kind of hard to assess. This is why they say you need 3 years to really assess a draft pick. Because the immediate returns on a Justin Jefferson or a CeeDee Lamb or, listen, there's a lot of them out there. The DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf is our new Earl Thomas now. But we're going to have to wait to see a return on investment there. I don't hate the pick. I don't hate Jalen Reagor. When you're a rookie and you're coming into the NFL and the offense is struggling and the offense isn't playing well and then you get hurt, that's the recipe for not being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish as a rook.
Yeah.
And plus he wasn't brought, unless you're one of those ball dominant guys like a Calvin Johnson when he came into the league, or Des Bryant his first year. I'm trying to remember back, but there's just some guys that come out that are going to be ball dominant. DK Metcalf is cut from the same cloth. They're just going to be ball dominant, and that's not Rager's game. He's there next to Sean.
Well, yeah. I got to leave in 10 minutes. My camera battery just died, and I'm frozen on the screen. So.
Yeah, you got. I tell you what now, Fred. I got to bounce too. I got to get these kids fed before the game starts, because after that, I'm just going to be in a sobbing puddle of depression.
Are you gonna go live on Instagram? I know you were live on Instagram with a Giants fan when you played the Giants. That was fun to watch.
No, me and LPG, license plate guy, for those of you, we have a very friendly relationship. I mean, it's if I was thinking about that, if I could find like a famous super fan during this COVID period where we're all kind of quarantining that wanted to go live at the same time, I would, but it's just a lot of work, man. I'm trying to cut down the work that I'm doing. I'm not trying to put more shit on my plate.
Oh shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for doing this. This was awesome, man. We'll have to do it again sometime. Hopefully in the near future, we'll be talking about a more positive situation and a more fun thing to look forward to, because this has not been fun this season at all.
It's not been fun. But before I get on out of here and we shut this baby down and get ready for the misery that's on deck, let me once again say that I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I love the flow of the show. I love what you're doing on microphone. I think you really got something here. I hope it continues to grow for you. I hope you continue to kick ass, and I hope this whole thing here kind of for you breeds into some bigger opportunities, because I'm living proof that if you work hard at it, bigger opportunities are going to be there for you. So I wish you nothing but success in the future, and go Birds.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate the hell out of the positive words, man. Hey, take it easy, E-Rock. Thank you. All right, guys, as you can see, I'm frozen on the screen because my camera battery died. Thank you all for coming through the live stream. Go Birds. It's always go Birds at the end of the day. We bleed green at the end of the day. This is going to be a absolute, in my opinion, this is just going to be bad. It's not going to be fun to watch. I hope Jalen Hurts shows some kind of life and something in this game, but I'm just not seeing it, man. Let me know what you guys think, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Thanks for coming through. Peace.